Me too. If you're still writing content from scratch in 2025, you're already 6 months, probably even 2 years behind your competition. The coaches making 50K months and beyond, they're using this prompt strategy that we're going to share today. Today's topic, we're talking about the $1 million prompt, how coaches get rich with AI. Today, Quonda and I are going to be talking about this as well as giving you some more tips on how you can use AI tools in order to grow your business. I would throw it to you, Quonda.
Super excited to be back. How long have we been gone? Was it a
It,
month or more?
it's been a little over a month. Oh, I think July 29th was our last one. So it's been a month.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's been a while, but I'm excited for us to be back in our AI expert fun girl mode. Super excited. This is probably like the first Tuesday that we've done this, and it has not been raining here in Atlanta or thundering and storming.
It's not
It's
raining.
not raining or thundering
That's
or
what's up.
storming.
Girl, I still think about that one time when it was pouring. We was like, you good over there?
That power went out. It just fade to black. That was so funny. I'm super excited. Y'all just join and let us know in the chat where you're tapped in from, where you're tuned in from. This is going to be the live for you if you want to know how learn how to leverage AI. You want to learn the prompts that millionaires use to grow their business, systems, tools, processes. This is going to be the live for you. Yeah, and I'm excited. I think one thing though, I want to throw this out there, is that I think a lot of people are staying surface level when it comes to AI. I think people think, oh, just get my content, get my content. But if you want to be the millionaire coach, the $1 million coach, the coach that's making millions, you have to go beyond surface level, or I just needed to do as content. You have to think beyond it. It's not just the cute captions or Canva. It's thinking bigger, testing ideas, testing strategies to get it done faster. And you can use AI to build out products. You can use AI to build out systems. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
I think that needed to be said because, oh, hey, Renisha. Hey, Chanel. Thanks for joining us. That needs to be said because a lot of people don't know how to use ChatGPT or
Yeah.
just any AI tools, right? They're using it the same way that gurus are telling them to use it, which is just to get content ideas, write my emails, and all those things. But you can actually use it for, it can literally run your business, not for you, but with you. It can do
Yeah.
that. So, really like stepping outside of that hat and just really giving your all. So let's talk about. Oh, actually, before we jump into this, is your Chat GPT running slow? Mine is running slow. I just gave it a prompt, and it's not even popping up. It's telling
I
me to.
don't I don't like that latest model. I feel like the latest model is the mindset is off. I feel like it throws it just yeah, it's not up to par. I like the old one, but I keep forgetting that you can switch it back to some of the older models. I haven't been doing that.
I
That's
didn't even think about that.
yeah, yeah.
So much sense. Yeah, Ranisha says mine was running slow today. Mine is running slow. It's
So
been
they
running
might be doing
slow.
an update. It's probably what's going on. They're getting ready to maybe throw out another one. And then I think too, the more they extend this stuff to the public for free, the more you have users using it. So the usage is higher. I
That,
remember when it was exclusive and you had to pay when it first came out. I was one of the first ones on it, and I was just like, yes, yes. There was a wait list. People had to wait, and it flowed to me better.
then I need to try something because it's annoying. Like it don't make no sense that I'm over here putting in a prompt and waiting 5 minutes for it to come. Then when it comes, it's trash. I'm like,
I
Chad.
think I think we're spoiled too, though, because what were we doing before this?
Using my brain. I was just telling that to my clients. I was like, let me tell you, I taught this 2 years ago, and 2 years ago, you would have had to use your brain. Today, pull up your chat GPT. Like we are in class together. Like pull up your GPT, pull up your chat GPT,
Yeah,
we'll do this together. And it just goes so much faster. So I am spoiled, but you don't spoil me and then take it back. That makes no sense.
right. And even like the research back in the day when we were searching like target audience stuff, like you literally had to go in these platforms. You literally had to go, pay amount of money to get the data on, all the stuff that your competitors was doing or understanding the market. Now you could just do some deep research in any of these AI platforms and boom. So it takes away the heavy lifting. So I think that's one of the best things about this is that you don't have to toil or struggle to get all of this stuff done. You can have systems and processes and tools working for you.
I'm not gonna front. Back to the spoil part. Whenever ChatGPT doesn't say or do the thing that I wanted to do, I'm not gonna front. I'll be rolling my eyes at it. Like, I need you to get better because I'm spoiled. I do the same thing with my Stanley too. I'm like, what do you? Why are you sending this over to me? Like,
The night in my experience, the nicer that I talk to chat, the better it performs for me. I'd be like, oh my God, thank you. You were so on point. But I did see that you missed this. And then it seems like it tries harder to make sure it gets it right the next time. Like I do that sometimes when I'm generating like marketing materials or art stuff. And I'll be like, oh, this was so close. I love what you did here, but it's missing this. And it'll go extra hard to make sure the next time it gets it right.
so you mean that I shouldn't be like ChatGPT? If you do not stop writing to me like this, if I gotta stop doing that so it
I
gets
think you should stop
better.
doing that. Yeah.
I almost
I
called
think
it.
I think the way it's programmed, we always talk about the biases and all of that type of stuff. I think the way it's programmed, I think it'll function better for you when you talk to it nicely.
It almost got its full government name. Open AI Chat GPT. If you don't stop talking to me like this, that's exactly what it's about to get. But it's okay. I'm going to calm down and talk to it better. So I mean, sometimes I do feed it like nice, lots of compliments. I tell it when we win, like the bid and stuff. But there are times when I'm just like, I need you to get together.
Yeah, especially when you want something delivered fast or you need something. Yeah, so I get it. I get it. But we are spoiled, definitely.
So, okay, but you did bring up a good point about deep research, right? So ChatGPT's deep research has really helped me as I had prayed and asked God for a new marketing strategy and he gave it to me. And part of it I needed to do like a deep research. Actually, you're the one who told me use the deep research feature in order to do that. And it does. And it's different, right? Because when I give it the prompt, it then will ask me more questions as opposed to because I actually tested both ways. I did regular and then I did deep research. And with regular, it just gives you the answers and it may not even be right. But with the deep research, it actually thought about it longer and it gave me like the full, it asked me more questions on exactly what it was that I was looking for. And then it gave me the what I was looking for. It gave me the emails, it gave me the website. I mean, like it was the full. And then I said, just put this in an Excel sheet for me, please. And it did all of that. And I was like, I didn't have to do none of this.
Yeah.
So really knowing how to prompt it, that's super important.
Yeah, and I think that's the missing piece. A lot of people just stay real surface level. Some people don't even know that that deep research feature is available. And I haven't used it in a little bit, but when I first was using it, it took some time, like maybe 10, 20 minutes. It took some time, but it started pulling out articles and different things that I can reference and go back to because I was doing research for to understand the market for a children's brand, and so it started pulling like articles from H&M and articles from Zara and different things like that about the psychology of why parents buy, all of that type of stuff. And it
Mhm,
was
mhm.
really good information. So if you are somebody and you have a brand and maybe you want to extend your line or add another product or another service to it, you can use that feature to do those things. It'll do the research for you. It'll save you time. It'll save you money because it used to be those research tools and things like that, those libraries, you have to pay for those. I
Mhm.
mean, now the game has changed, but before you had to pay a good amount of money. And if you didn't have it, it's just like you had to just guess your way. Yeah,
That's why we had a lot of misinformation out there because you out here guessing.
exactly.
Oh man, no, that's so good. I really love that you brought that up and just really how AI has made life so much easier. But here's the thing that I want to talk about. What about people who feel like AI is going to take over their jobs, it's going to take over their business, like it's just not something that we should be using. I still hear people talking like that.
I think it's a limited belief. I think we have to know that at the end of the day, somebody has to program AI. It's not going to work unless somebody's telling it what to do. So it's either, in my opinion, I believe it's going to enhance jobs. I believe if you are an early adopter of AI, you will thrive because you'll be ahead of the curve and ahead of the game. And you can, jobs will be, or positions and opportunities will be created based on your knowledge. You learn how to prompt like an expert. I remember, I think it was when ChatGPT first came around, maybe 2023, 2024, something like that. They had a position open for prompt engineer and they were making like $1 million a year. Like, you learn this stuff, you can get positions in different companies. And then you and I talk about this privately all the time, is creating those AI powered solutions to your clients, to your customers. So let's say you have you service contractors, you could create something for them to help them estimate calculator or something, easy for them to get their job done. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just it's figuring out your unique genius, your realm, your area of expertise, and expanding on it, and learning what you need to learn, and just being a solutionist. Wealthy people solve problems. If you want to be wealthy, you have to solve a problem, and the more lucrative the problem is, the more wealthy you'll become. So you have to, I think people have to change their perspective.
That was so good. I feel like we should be playing music on this. I just wanted to dance like wealthy people solve problems. Say that again.
Wealthy
Because
people.
even when it comes to this $1 million prompt, right? It's how do I solve the problem? Like, who can I solve this problem for? Actually, it just reminds me of, I don't even want to change the subject because I want to comment on that. But it reminds me of one of your prayers that you were praying, and it helped me because now I started praying the prayer. You were like, Lord, I want to be able to serve rich people, right? Rich business owners. Show me what's their problem and show me how I can help them.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I used to feel so intimidated because I'm like, oh, they're better off than me. There's no way I can be able to help them. But when I started to shift my perspective and I started praying that prayer, it's like, yeah, I mean, they need help too. They
Exactly.
don't just exist, like they also need help. So that's what it reminded me of, like shifting your perspective. And then the other thing, now I grew up in the 80s. Okay, I was born in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. I grew up in the 90s. When I was growing up, there was no such thing as a social media a marketeer, there was no such thing as social media at all. Those jobs were created after I graduated from college, right? Now, when I was going to school, they were not preparing us for any of that stuff because they had no idea that it was going to be around, right? And now today it's been like nearly 2 decades. Nope, it's been two no, been a decade, over a decade, almost 2 decades, where social media has been around and they're actually training kids in college. There's whole college courses around it that you can use this for marketing, and now there are actually jobs for it. AI, oh my goodness, it really just started blowing up for us, where regular folk could use it in the last 2 years or so, right? And do you know, I was hanging out with my business mentor yesterday and they were interviewing someone. And this person said, yeah, I just graduated from college and but I took a course in AI. Just grad you just graduated from college and they have a course in AI already? Like AI is that thing where it just became popular to us,
Right.
but here we are, it's in Columbia, it's in NYU. Like these are esteemed colleges that are teaching courses on AI. But guess what? These are people who grew up in AI for the last 30 years. It only been 2 years
Right.
that they have been doing this with AI. And it's these professors that are teaching it, and they're known as like they have so much wealth of knowledge on it. So anyone can get in. It's just a shift of mindset. Instead of thinking what AI is taking away from me, we should be thinking, or y'all should be thinking, because I'm already thinking like this. How can I use this as leverage? Right? How can I use this to become the next millionaire, multi-billionaire, multi-trillionaire, as opposed to it's going to take something from me? And when you have that type of perspective shift, you now start seeing, oh, there are going to be problems, so how can I position myself to be able to solve those problems? And because there are some people who are thinking like, oh my goodness, but the world is struggling. There's a recession, this and this and this. You can keep looking at it from that perspective, or you can look at it as God is positioning you to be able to make a lot of money when you solve the $1 million problems.
Yeah. And to add to that point, I feel like um, the younger generation, children, they should be learning AI too. So if they should be learning AI too, that's a position. That's something you could go in the school systems and say, hey, I want to teach kids AI. I want to teach them how they can make children's books or animated series and things like that. They are the future. They should be learning this as well. And another point is, um, this era is reminding me of like the Industrial Revolution or the Great Depression. You know what I'm saying? When times were, it looked bad, it looked crazy, there's always going to be some type of disruption. It's almost like that's what God does.
Yep.
He'll allow the times to be what they're going to be, but he'll have disruptors like me and you to come out here and be like, we're swinging, we're learning this AI stuff, we're going to take it to the next level, we're going to create services, we're going to create products. So you definitely have to change your perspective. You definitely have to change your perspective if you want to win. And then that's the difference too between the wealthy mindset of people, is that they are ready for opportunities, they take risk, and they're just like, what problem can I solve next? Who has a problem? And then to go back to something else you were saying before, wealthy people have problems too. They want to know how they can get done things done faster, more efficiently. Matter of fact, when the higher you up, the less that you want to do. If you think about in the Bible, Moses, when he was overwhelmed with like growing out his team and servicing all of these people, his father-in-law, Jethro, I think that was his name, came up and says, hey, this is what you need to do. You need to assign managers, you need to assign systems, you need to assign leaders. So it's like the further you go up, the more you're going to need people under you. So they'll be willing to pay for these services and these products as long as you can deliver.
Yeah, that's so good. Especially when you talked about going into the schools and teaching the children, especially when you talked about like just really understanding I can't even say understand, positioning yourself to
Yeah.
be prepared so that you can solve the problems, because that's exactly what wealthy entrepreneurs and business owners do, right? And so instead of like, okay, I'll just share my story. So when AI was really blowing up in 2023, one of my posts went viral, just putting out like, I don't remember what I was talking about, but it was something with AI. And I remember stopping it. I didn't stop it from going viral, but I stopped like putting out content like that because I was like, I don't want to be known for this. And I think part of me was just like, because I don't know how long this is gonna last. But
Mm-hmm.
there's someone else who like we became friends on Instagram, and she kept running with it, and her page just kept growing and growing and growing, and she kept making a lot of money from it because she's just like, oh, I'm gonna double down on this, right? Like, it is really important that when you see something taking off, jump in.
Yeah.
Don't wait to be number 10. Be number 2 if you have to be, but don't wait, right? And so you talked about there are disruptors, and it's those disruptors that allow millionaires to be born, because,
Exactly.
or I should say, to be formed. Yeah, that's a better word. To be formed. I used to work with Myron Golden, and in his Make More Offers challenge. I don't know if he still does this, but back in the day when I was working with him, he did. But he talked about the phases of wealth, right? And he talked about how wealth was created in like the 1600s, how it was created in the 1800s, right? And he goes all the way back to like the Industrial Revolution, and the people who are making wealth at that time, they had to own the factory, not work in the factory, they had to own the factory, and making wealth was very slow. And he'll walk you through each decade or century. He'll walk you through each century, and then he gets to the 90s, and he's like, in the 90s, what really was dominating the wealth sector was media and television, right? And the people who are making the money are producers and directors, and no, not producers, directors, it's studio owners, right? And then he gets to the early 2000s, and he's like, social media. So anyone is social media. And what he was showing us was every time there was a disruptor, you can make money faster. You
Mm-hmm.
become wealthy faster, right? I'm pretty sure now if he still does it, he probably has AI on there now. Because look at this, it's only been like a decade or so with people who are becoming wealthy off of social media marketing, right? Or just social media, I should say. I don't want to say marketing, but the people who are owning the social media platforms, they became wealthy. It's only been like a decade or so. And then bam, here comes AI. So it's just getting faster and faster for you to become wealthy and for you to become a multi-millionaire. But you got to be in position and have the mindset that says, I'm ready for this. We can't be running away afraid of it, because here's the reality. Some people aren't really afraid of AI, but they're afraid of making a lot of money in a short amount of time. Because if you make a lot of money in a short amount of time, you might start feeling like, oh, now I have responsibility. Will I spend this thing? You have some trauma from your past. So will I be a good steward of it? That may not be the exact words that they're using, but sometimes it shows up in our resistance to move forward. And God's like, either you're going to get rid of that resistance or you're going to stay broke. Okay, maybe God didn't say that, but I definitely said that.
Yeah, I think in within the next leading up to 2030, that's going to be where the most AI
Mhm.
millionaires are born, are birthed, because the opportunities are endless. Like I was telling you, I heard somebody say the other day, they're making thousands of dollars creating AI feet pics. And they think they got them on like OnlyFans or something like that. People are creating adult photos, uploading, and people don't know the difference because how good AI has become. So if they're doing things like that, imagine the uniqueness of things that we can do using AI. And going, when I say using AI, when we're talking about AI, we're not just talking Chat GPT.
Yes.
We're thankful for ChatGPT. She got us spoiled, or if you refer to him, whatever. But but there's more. Like Google dropped Google Gemini, right? In this Google Gemini, they have where you could create images, you can write children's books, you can play some type of chess game. It helps you with your career. It's some type of brainstormer. You can take your images and edit your images. This is what I did the other week. So I have an old photo shoot from maybe like 2021, 2022. I'm wearing this blue suit, and I took that photo shoot and I said, you know what? I want to repurpose this. I changed my suit to pink. I changed my suit to red. I changed my hair to red. I did all these different combinations. And I said, if I ever want to put these photos out there, and I changed the background on some of them, it'll be like they're brand new. And I did that using Google Gemini. In Google Gemini, they have the usage of Nano Banana in there, and that Nano Banana art generator to me right now is one of the best when it comes to keeping the character consistency the same but changing something about them. I think it's hands down one of the best right now. So I think Google stepped their game up. They're like, hey, we're not just a search engine. We're way more than just a search engine. And so they saw an opportunity. They've probably been working on this stuff for years. They saw an opportunity. They saw what OpenAI did. They saw what ChatGPT did. And they're like, you know what? Where do we fit in here?
Mhm.
And then AI is gonna disrupt every industry, government,
Mhm.
media, any healthcare is already disrupting healthcare. They're just trying to figure out in healthcare how are patients going to be receptive of AI. But in terms of the medical procedures, all of that stuff is being done. I seen an article or something the other day where it's talking about somebody's kidney or somebody's heart was literally saved by AI tools. So the mindset of, oh, AI is going to be the antichrist, or AI is going to be the devil, or AI is going to be this, and you might as well throw that out, because in some way, shape, or form, you're using AI. If you get on social media, there's some type of AI in that. If you go do self checkout, you go take money out the bank, you might as well call that the devil too, because it's some form of AI. If you give Siri all your business, that's AI. Everything we're using has some type of technology in it. So you got to decide what part of history you want to be on, the one making the money, the one generating the wealth, or the one just watching everybody else.
Mm. Girl, that was good. That was mic drop right there. That was really good. I especially love when you brought up the person who's like making money with OnlyFans or possibly OnlyFans. And it makes me think about, so I follow Apostle Tommy Araimi, right? And he was talking about this. He said there's a lot of people who, a lot of Christians who still believe that AI is evil, right? And it's the devil. But that was their same thought when it came to Hollywood, when it came to fashion. Like anything that comes out, it's always like, it's the devil, as if the devil could create anything, right? He can't. Anyway, his point was, he said, if you don't use AI for good, then the world's going to use it for bad. And then here you are talking about AI porn that they're using it for. Why? Because the Christians are convincing themselves this is the devil. This
Yeah.
is not good. I shouldn't use this. When in all actuality, it is neutral. AI is neutral. And it's whoever is using it to prompt it. Why not use it to become millionaires? Especially like if we say that God is an abundant God. then we should be doing stuff to position ourselves for abundance to flow. But when we have a mindset that's like, this is evil, or I feel like I'm cheating, because I hear some people say that too. I feel like I'm cheating. Cheating what? We're not in school. This isn't a test, right? All this is, maybe it's a test of your endurance. Can you withstand this? Can you do this? Maybe it's a test of your creativity, but it's not like no one's looking over your shoulder and saying you got to do it the hard way. And that's the thing. Some people are just addicted to hard.
Yeah. Uh,
I
I
know I'm
don't
not.
listen. I don't like struggle. I don't want to be a part of struggle. Struggle don't know my name. I think for me, if I had Chat GPT back when I was in high school, middle school, listen, I would have been cheating the whole time around. All right. Okay, they would have had to figure out how to ban it. Okay, because I would have been like, I wouldn't have been doing anything.
You know what? I think that's what they're doing right now. They said
What?
they have some tool that shows like if you
Mhm.
wrote your paper in, is it just ChatGPT? Because I'm like, I'll just write it in
No,
Claude.ai.
it's probably other ones, but there's always loopholes with this stuff. These
Of
kids are so smart.
course.
They'll be done create something else.
For me, I'm like, don't limit their creativity. Let them do it this way. Like half the stuff y'all teach in school, maybe 75%. I'm gonna go with 90% of the stuff you teach in school has nothing to do with real life. And
Exactly.
we're not gonna use it anyway. And you want them to like figure stuff out for what? They don't need to do that in real life. Like
Exactly.
it's anyway, I'm not gonna go down that path because we will be here forever if I start going down that path. I have very strong words about our educational system. Maybe they need AI. We probably need an AI government. How would that flow? We had like an AI government. Like,
There are some countries that are going to go in that direction. I'd say give it the next 10 years or so. They're already in the works of talking about different things. I think it's going to be more for the more developed ones. I think probably like China and Japan, who don't mind stuff like that, they're already on a whole nother level when it comes to AI. China had restaurants a long time ago where robots were serving you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's not like we're just getting over here the cars that don't have the drivers. I don't think I'm ready to get in something like that. And that's because I used to have dreams all the time, younger, that I would be in the car and I don't have any control of what's going on. And so that has traumatized me. No. Okay. Mm-mm.
Oh, that is so funny. It actually reminds me of the show. I think I told you about it. It's called Upload. It's on Amazon Prime. Do you remember? Did I tell you about that?
No. Is that the Mr. Beast?
No, it's not. Oh, so maybe I was talking to another friend. But if
Yeah.
any of you have ever seen it, it's called Upload. It's on Amazon Prime, and it is so good. And it's like futuristic, pretty much. It's these people where when you're about to die, if you're about to die, you get to upload your soul into a data system, right? And your heaven is living in that data system where you get to eat unlimited and all this stuff. It's actually really cool. But you made me think about it because in it they have self-driving cars where the car is just driving you. So you just sit back on your seat and it just drives you everywhere. And they're supposed to be non-crashable, right? But it just so happens that the main character, his car does crash in the first episode and he dies and he gets uploaded to like this digital heaven. It's really cool. I was like, oh, this is where we're moving towards. Like, it's really, really nice. But you made me think about that.
Yeah, and to go back to the disruption, I even think the music industry is going to be disrupted even the more. I mean, there's some things that have been disrupted, but I believe that there are going to be AI avatars. I think I heard Spotify is getting ready to do this, where they're going to let AI avatars have albums, have songs, and things like that. So you can legit go into ChatGPT, create an image of an artist that you want, take that, upload it into HeyGen, and you can get some animation. But if you want to take it a little bit further, you can go to Suno AI and have it create a song. Download that song, upload the voice to HeyGen, put that together. Now you have an artist. And you can literally do those songs using Suno because I've seen people use Suno and they're on Apple Music. Some of the music that we're listening to now is AI. We don't even know it. So I think it's disruption time. That's what it is.
That part. I love that you said that, right? Because it made me think about we were saying what the $1 million prompt is, right? And I'm like, that should be the $1 million prompt. Because really what's going to help you get to the $1 million in your business is doing something that is outside the box,
Yeah.
that is so unique, that others aren't fully doing yet, or haven't fully embraced yet. Because I remember, like, I don't remember how many years ago it was, but when they were trying to come out with holographic artists, it didn't really go as far as they wanted it to. But I think with AI, it will, especially because there are a lot of brand pages that are AI focused that have blown up so much. Right. So I feel like that should be the $1 million prompt, because it's such a unique idea. I mean, of course, it's going to take a couple of AI tools in order to create it. But if you're serious about it, you really just want to do something that's going to stand out and that's going to catch the attention of people, like really be unique in this space. Because right now there's a lot of people who are still not using AI. Those who are using AI are only using it just to prompt it and ask it for content ideas, write my emails. But if you can use it in a way that completely shifts what people are thinking, then you will be good to go. You'll be That
Yeah.
was a really good point.
You know, a couple years ago when I first started, I'm an AI geek. If y'all don't know, I get very excited when I talk about this. But a couple years ago, after my business was hacked, I was playing around in ChatGPT, and I created an image of a cartoon character. And then I said, you know what would be cool if I turn this into a podcast? And so I started creating these 60-second episodes. And then I used, I think, not Hey Jen, it was DID, I think it's called something, but with DID. And I would record my voice and have her talking. I started TikTok years ago, but I didn't do anything with it. But imagine if I would have stuck with that, I probably would have been one of the first people to have an AI podcast. And
Oh,
it's on TikTok now.
that would have been good, girl. Like, that would have been good. I mean, it's still not too late because technically not a lot of people are doing it.
Yeah.
Now is the time to get in before, like, people. I mean, of course, if it's what you want to do, that's the other thing. Y'all shouldn't be doing stuff just to be doing it because I just want to
Right.
make money. I mean, you can be successful financially, but you may be miserable spiritually if you are doing that. I want to read some comments. Living Life with the Baron says, so true, because in the beginning I thought AI was going to go in the wrong direction. Yes, but if we use it to build God's kingdom, it could allow us to speak and reach so many souls.
That's
That
the
part
point.
right there, I love that. That was so good. And then she said, do you ladies know the queen of AI, Alicia Little? I don't know her personally, but she's been popping up all over, which is so funny because she's getting that name now because she's popping up all over for her AI summit. Very great marketing by her. They already have an AI artist out there. If I'm not mistaken, I think Pitbull has an AI artist. See, they
Yeah.
are already doing it. Like, what? Here's the thing. When it comes to AI or just being creative, period, if you can see it, you can manifest it. That's just really what it is. If you can see it, you can manifest it. So for those of you who are like, I want to build an AI community, I want to build an AI kingdom, do it. It
Yeah.
may take some time, but do it, right? Especially when you have God on your side. Like,
Yeah.
Lord, I want to be able to do this. Like, how can I do this where it's going to represent you and it's going to serve you? And here's the bonus tip. It doesn't always have to be that you have to speak the word of God just to do it,
Right.
right? It could be like, God has called you to be a kingdom financier, and he's giving you that $1 million idea or that multi-billion-dollar idea so that you can make a lot of money and be able to fund things in the kingdom. Like, it doesn't have to be limited to, I got to get on a pulpit or I got to teach people
Yeah.
about Jesus. Like, sometimes, a lot of times,
A lot of
it is you living your life that's going to get people to come to you.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I grew up I grew up in the church, but I also had church hurt, and I also grew up in church circles where everybody, just didn't really have money like that. They were broke, busted, and disgusted. For me, I thought that God wanted his people to be broke, busted, and disgusted. And God, that was his face when he was looking at me. He was like, "Who are you? Who, God?" He said, I got streets paved with gold in heaven. You think I can't bring that down on earth? I was like, I'm sorry, Lord, but that's all I saw. Broke, busted, and disgusted people loving God. So I'm thinking that this is the track that he wants me to go down. And he nicely picked me up and was like, I'm going to place you in a different community because you don't know what's out there. And so he placed me in Myron's community. Then I started seeing a bunch of wealthy Christians. And now I can't unsee it. And I believe it so much that when I see people who believe that God wants you to be broke, busted, and disgusted, I'm like, I don't know what God you serving.
Yeah.
It can't be
And
Jesus. There's no
I,
way.
exactly. And I think it goes to say that community matters too, especially when you're building entrepreneurs, business owners, get in communities around other people who are doing what you're doing or doing something similar. So you have that motivation. So you have that encouragement. Because some days it's just like, man, I feel like I'm putting all the work and nothing's happening. Then you got somebody like a star to be like, girl, I admire what you're doing. Keep on going. You need that. So being around the right people. And just like you said, when God was breaking the spirit of poverty and lack off of my life, he had to change my environment as well. And sometimes that meant me stepping away from family because they never, in my family, I am the first entrepreneur, the first business owner. When my grandmother could not understand it, she used to tell everybody, Quonda doesn't have a job. She just couldn't understand it because her generation, she didn't understand it because her generation believed you had to work a 9 to 5. You had to toil. You had to do work all of these hours and do overtime. She didn't see that all I needed was a phone and a computer and I can generate money. You know?
Oh, that was the mic drop. I thought he was about to give me some more. I'm like, okay.
That's
And
all I had on that. No, but like community matters. That's all I want to say about that. It's
is she
community
still alive
matters.
today?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, I wonder how she feel about AI. You should call on the phone, Granny. What you think about AI?
I don't think they even understand what that is. But next time I have a conversation with it, I don't think they understand what that is. But now they think I'm famous now because they'll see me on YouTube and different things like that. So I think they have an understanding that like what I did worked in some capacity. So yeah,
So she went from Quanda don't got a job to Quanda, that's my granddaughter. Look what she did.
right.
That is
But
so
like I had to go through that so I could understand trailblazer, right? So now the younger people that come after me in my family, they can be an entrepreneur and nobody's going to judge them because that is a way of life. That's
exactly.
something that was done. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yep.
the first in my family hit that 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of times when you are the trailblazer, the trendsetter, you get the punches. You bear the weight so that the next person don't have to go through all of that. My spiritual mom tells a story about how when she first came out and was preaching, the Lord had her specifically to wear these nice big poofy dresses because he didn't want her to look manly in the pulpit. Those people used to write nasty messages. Those people used to say all those stuff when she would be all over Christian television. And now what? Everybody's wearing dresses. But
Okay.
she had to get the punches in the beginning to make it free for everybody else. Now let me put this out here. She wasn't one of the ones wearing them bodycon dresses in the pulpit. She's modest. She's modest. I gotta speak up. I gotta speak up for her. She's modest, okay?
So
Fashion.
no belly skin, no short shorts.
No, that ain't her. Listen, got me all the way together when I used to be thinking I could just dress how I want to dress. You be like, no, you got to look presentable. You got to be well put together. She taught me about Spanx. If you don't know about Spanx, y'all, ladies, if you're somewhere and you're jumping, everything will fall back in the right, respectful place.
I
Okay.
love that. That's the point of a Spanx. I thought it was to help you lose weight. I didn't know. Like,
No, it's to help
and you
you.
start praising the Lord real hard.
Yeah, everything is not one thing over here. It's straight down. Down.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I don't have things be flying. Maybe one day.
You have the best eyes, so you're fine.
Well, thank you. But I think are we the same size? No. Wait, no.
No.
Yeah, no, I forgot.
I
In
got
my mind,
curves.
you're taller than me. In my mind, you are. Yeah.
I'm sitting here like this because I feel like we're uneven. I'm like,
I'm standing. I'm
I know.
standing. Though. Yeah. And I'm over here trying to back up because I feel like I'm right here in the screen. So I'm like trying to back up. And then my hair, I'm always like double checking everything. My hair is like going off camera a little bit. So I'm like always, I know. No one's even looking at that, but that's what I'm looking at. Because later on, if I want to reuse these, I'm like, look at my hair off camera. I'm off camera. I look crazy. Like some people are just not aware at all.
Can we get into that about being aware?
Yes, we could. We could totally get into that. So I had a podcast called Wisdom to Wealth, right? And I had people that come on to interview with me. And girl, some of these people like on camera, they be all and talking. And I'm like, how do you expect? And I don't want to cut them off and tell them like no one can see you. Like, why are you doing that? But not even that, like just sometimes how you look, your lighting, like all of that stuff. I'm like, guys, if we're gonna represent, I'm gonna need us to represent, right? Like
Yeah.
come looking a certain way, have your videos looking good. Like, okay, that was my
Especially if you are somebody of an authority figure, you're selling something 5, 10, $20,000. I was at this meeting, this business meeting one time, and this lady was talking about presentation matters. And she's somebody who likes to spin. And she says, if I see you with that bonnet on your head, if I see you doing this, she said, you'll never get my money. So there
honey.
are people with that mindset. So if you are somebody on here and you are a coach, you're somebody on here and you have, a great business and you have, high, what's the right word?
High ticket.
High ticket products, services. You want to make sure you look the part. I want to say something, but I can't say it.
Dang. Why not? Now it sounds juicy. Now we all want to know.
No, I'm just gonna. Okay, I'll say this. I have a client that I worked with,
There you go.
and they were recording content, and I was just like, did they not look in the mirror
Honey.
and check themselves?
Mm,
Like you're gonna position yourself to be this authority figure, and it's just like it doesn't look presentable.
no. Let me tell you something. I used to have the same mindset. I used to have the mindset that it doesn't matter what I look like, it doesn't matter how I dress, none of that stuff. What matters is what's coming out of my mouth, right? That's how some people think. What matters is what comes out of my mouth. I'm gonna tell you right now how God got me all the way together. All the way together. I remember going to the Today Show, and during this time, well, no, it wasn't Today Show. I think it was The View or something like that. And I was sitting in the audience, and Tiffany Haddish. I feel like I told this story before, but Tiffany Haddish was on there. This is like after this is post Girls Trip, but around this time, that's when Tiffany Haddish like really blew up. But she had this dress that she liked to wear, and she wore it all the time. She wore it to this show and that show, and this show. And Jada had to pull her to the side and was like, "You can't do that anymore." And she's looking at Jada like, "No, like I'm funny and I paid mad money for this dress. I'm gonna wear it everywhere." She's like, "No, no, you are now." She didn't use the word authority, but she was like, "You're now in the limelight. Like people are looking up to you. Like this doesn't look good with you looking like this." And so she was like, when Jada told her that, she ended up shifting her entire wardrobe. Like her looks matter. Let me tell you, I'm sitting in that audience and God is like, knock, knock, I'm talking to you. Just minding my business. Lord. He was like, you cannot be showing up any old way, right? Because you're representing me. Like, think
Yeah.
about Jesus every time he showed up. I'm pretty sure his hair wasn't out of place. He wasn't looking all types of crazy. Like, if you're going to represent the king, you need to look like you were sent by the king.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't be out here with our bonnets on our head. We can't be out here with our clothes looking all types of crazy. Like, and so now for me, even when I'm going to the supermarket, I make sure I'm representing and I look good. Because anytime anybody needs to ask me, where you from? I'm from the kingdom of God and I represent God. Like I need to look like I represent him. Another thing, especially when you're selling high ticket, your audience wants to know that they're investing in value and quality.
Yeah.
Your content needs to look as such. You cannot be putting out content where it's darkly lit. You cannot be putting out content where the audio is bad, the quality looks bad, because when you go to ask for $10,000 from them, they're going to look at you like, I don't think you're worth it. You're not worth it. Like looks really do matter. And I know people say things like, we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. It's another one of those lies that our schools be teaching us.
Yeah.
Another one of those lies. Because I'm not going to a doctor with a brown coat. If your coat look dirty, you can't operate on me. I don't think so. I'm not going to a hairstylist if your hair don't look good. If your hair look crazy, I don't trust you. I
Yeah.
don't trust you. Like I'm not gonna be like, no, her credentials. I don't know nothing about your credentials. I know what I see, right? And so we really got to show up and represent in a certain way. When you're ready to receive money at high ticket level, you actually have to produce content that is high quality, and you have to look it so that people will actually invest.
Yeah, it's like that scripture that says man looks at the outward appearance and God
That
looks
part.
at the heart.
That part.
That's true. Like those of us that are called to media and Hollywood and things like that, those people they're looking at that type of stuff.
Yep.
You better come correct. If you think you're going to be working for Tyler Perry or whoever, you better come correct because they look at that type of stuff. It may not matter to you and your little friend group, but you got to look. You got to look for where you're going. That's was something that the Lord was working with me last year. I mean, I always love to dress, but when I first started on social media, I'd be wearing my little tight t-shirts. I'm busty, so like it was a lot, right? But what the Lord was showing me last year, I did a 5-day or 7-day intimacy with God in your business challenge. And he started telling me now, because I mean, he showed me to start preparing for my consulting agency, right? But he's had me looking the part. So when I would meet with clients and do one-on-ones, I would be dressed up. They only could see me from here up, but I would be dressed up. Sometimes I have my little red bottoms on. Sometimes I have my heels on. But God was preparing me. When you go in these meetings, you have to look the part.
That's so good. That is so good because people are going to work with you based on what you look like. So
Yeah.
I remember I worked at a TV network. I won't say the TV network. This is what I heard, okay, and what I've seen. But anyway, this woman, before she became CEO of our company, she looked regular schmegula. And as soon as they hired her as CEO, they got her a glam squad because they were like, "You're not going to be out here looking crazy representing our brand." Right. And no matter that it was a small TV company, they just recognized like glam squad. That's what you need. So for those of you who are listening to us and like, I need a glam squad. No, we're not selling that because I don't sell glam. Right. But there are certain things you can do, like doing your hair. I used to go live and not do my hair. I wouldn't wear makeup either. And then as soon as God was calling me to YouTube and I knew I was going to start posting on YouTube, I started shifting. I started wearing makeup, just really light makeup,
Yeah.
and I started making sure my hair was done too and just looking a certain way. So you can do that. It's as simple as doing your hair, putting on a little bit of makeup. You don't got to OD. And then when they start to release those tools with the filters, just use that.
Yeah. It's like preparing you never know where that $1 million opportunity is going to come from. So you want to show up like this could be the day that I'm going to get it. Did you ever see that man? There was a man, he used to have, I think, a web series on YouTube. And he was showing up and doing the work. And he was like, his mom was the only one watching. And she watched, and he had like 9 views. And then one day, Oprah was one of the people watching.
Yeah.
If he wasn't showing up, I don't know what the web series is about, but if he didn't have it done, he wasn't showing up, Oprah would have never watched that video. And that changed the trajectory of his life because he ended up working for Oprah.
That
So
part.
you just never know who's watching, y'all. You may be like, I'm live and only 5 people in here. That one of those people could be an executive at some type of company and they're just in there lurking and taking notes. And then they're going to search you out. You just never know who's watching.
Moral of the story, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
let me read some of these comments that's in here. Ranisha says, I had a dream last night. Just last night? Okay. Very timely. A dream last night. I was at a dinner Cash Doll invited me to. Celebs were there. I don't know that person. Auntie Tia? Okay. I can't remember who else. I had to leave and change clothes because I wasn't dressed right. That's good. My mom was telling me I was fine. I was like, no, these are celebrities. Have to change my clothes. And we didn't even think to talk about this. You can't tell me that's not God. That's like,
Exactly. Exactly. And you know, I had a season like that too, where in a dream, God was showing me stores I never heard of. Back then, I never heard of White House Black Market. I think that's what it's called. I never heard of like Zara. And he was showing me in a dream that these would be the stores that I would be shopping at, that I would be wearing their clothes. And then the season came, and that's where I was buying clothes from.
look at
So God, he will prepare you.
mhm. Living life with the Baron says, that's right. Sometimes we are the only Jesus people will see. Exactly. And we do have to represent Christ as Christians, whether we want to or not. I know I always want to. I'd be like, Lord, send me, I'll go.
Yeah, listen, I go to the dark, the ugliest places where the Christians don't want to go because y'all want to stay in church all day.
I mean, you
We have to also know that we are called beyond church.
better.
The You think about this scripture, pharaohs will build our walls. We ain't gonna find them in church
No.
because half of them ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be around people that are movers and shakers and be like, you know what? I see what you're doing with this business and I want to sow into you. I want to help you, or I want to hire you. I want to take you to the next level. You just never know how God is going to do it. So you be in the right position, you show up, you do the work, you learn the tools. It's easy. You can watch YouTube for, information if you want scattered information, or you can hire somebody. Get in front of somebody who learned this, who studied this, who's a nerd, hint, hint, and they can teach you those things. They can give you the shortcut. They can give you a blueprint.
I was gonna say that. I was like, you can watch it on YouTube and still struggle because let's be real, you just watching on YouTube is not going to help you, right? Or you can just take the fast track and work with Quonda because she actually teaches this. Like y'all should become friends with Quonda. No, y'all can't. I'm stingy. No, you can't. You paid Quonda, right? but she will literally walk you through what it is that you need, like the strategies that you need for AI, the AI tools that you can start using. And sometimes she'll just go in and be like, here, this is what you need. Right. And I just feel like for me, I'm very big on fast track. Like I just rather learn it right now, fast track, because you never know what season God has where you're gonna pop. And you don't want to pop without the right tools.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I want you to think about David and Goliath. David, for many years, he was a sheep herder. He was fighting lions, tigers, and bears. He had no idea there was going to be a Goliath moment. Like a lot of us right now, we may feel invisible. We may feel like God forgot about us, but you're in a season where He's preparing you, and there's
Yeah.
going to come a time where it's time to take care of Goliath. And I be telling God, I be like, Lord, send my Goliath, because when it comes, I want to be ready. Oh, that part. I want to be ready with my one rock, because it only took David one rock. My
Exactly.
one rock and my sling. I want to be ready. So I'm making sure I have all the tools in place now, but not just the tools, mindset,
Yeah.
capacity wise. I want to be able to receive, right? Like I've been believing God for $1 million check. I'm just gonna believe you, Lord, because I just believe you can do it. What strings will be attached, I don't know, but I'm just going to be prepared for it. So I got to prepare my mind and my soul to be ready to receive this $1 million check, so that I don't get it and think to myself I'm not worthy of it. Because
Yeah.
it, like, well, again, we never said this, but I'm saying it now. Money is not my master. I
Right.
tell money what to do.
Come on.
I can attract it because of who I am and because of who I serve. The Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." Right? And I really like this scripture, right? Because it says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God." Right? It doesn't say seek ye first God. Now, although when you break it down, they go hand in hand. But what makes me love it so much is because what is the kingdom of God? Like if you look at what a kingdom is, it's king's dominion, king's domain, right? So he's not just saying, just seek my face. Understand what kingdom is. Understand how a king rules a kingdom. Understand how the subjects act in a kingdom, right? Because if I'm seeking this, clearly you're telling me that this is something I need to build. And if I'm afraid to delegate, if I'm afraid to hire people, if I'm afraid to receive money, if you're going to be a king, you have to have enough money to create a kingdom. Like my mind just goes so. I think about King David when he became king of Judah. And then he became king of Israel. And he built that kingdom beyond where it was. But he had to understand kingdom in order for him to build it. He had to seek the kingdom of God too in order for him to build it. So for me, I'm like, Lord, I'm ready. Send me that $1 million check. I'm seeking the kingdom. The kingdom clearly has wealth in it. It's not a broke kingdom. I don't want to be the king of a broke kingdom. And God don't want to be the king of non-free people. Okay. I'm going down
Yeah.
the whole rabbit hole. Let me stop from now.
No, but it goes back to mindset. You have to, if you are somebody right now and you're at five and you're believing to get to six, you got to have that mindset that six figures have. And if you're exiting out the six, getting ready to go into the seven, then you have to have a different mindset. The same thing that got you five is not going to get you to seven.
That
And
part.
so you have to be okay with, okay, I might have to tweak this. I might have to pivot this. I might have to double down on this. Or like some of us, God is completely changing the strategy. We've been working these things these last 4 or 5 years, and they've been working. And now all of a sudden, it just stopped. And we're like, hold up, God, what's going on? And God is like, I'm taking you to a new direction.
Yep.
Some of you, He's sending you back something that you may have used before and you stopped using it along the way. He's like, nope, go back to that.
Mm.
It kind of reminds me of when Jesus gets into Simon Peter's boat. Simon Peter is like, but we've been toiling out here. I've been fishing. This is not the right time. He's thinking of all those excuses. And Jesus is like, but do it again, but this time with me in the boat.
That part.
Do it again. But
Mm.
you got me here. And then what I love about God, if you think about like Noah, God gave Noah specific instructions on how to build this ark. He told him the material, he told him the size, he told him who to include in the ark. God will give us the specifics if we ask. He'll say, okay, this is going to be your focus for the next 6 months. I want you to double down on this for the next 6 months. Use this platform, stop using this platform. And you just follow the instructions.
That's so good. But the thing is, some people have trouble with following instructions because they are going after what's shiny. Oh,
Mm,
my coach said to do this. Oh, but this guru got made money from doing this. Okay, that was their divine strategy. What is yours? And
yeah.
that's the most important thing. Like when I'm working with my clients, is to help you to identify this is the divine strategy. It goes with your capacity and
Yeah.
your personality. And then we work that strategy. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to front. I am also one of those people who's like, but maybe I should be doing this because I want to make money fast. And that's where community comes into play, where you talk about community. Because I've come to you several times like, but I feel like I should be doing this. And you're like, you should just be working the strategy that God has given you. And now every time I think about I should be doing something else, I think I hear your voice like, you should be working the strategy that God has given you. Like that is so important.
And this is my issue, not really an issue with like the gurus. They already have systems and plans and processes. They've been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years. So things are working for them because they've been doing it and they have things set up. Like I remember when everybody was like, oh, Gary V, follow what he said. He said post 10 times a day. Just post, just post. Gary V has a team of people posting on his behalf. So he can post 100 times a day because he's not doing it. All he has to do is show up and they record him saying, playing on his cell phone, doing little things or at the talks, and then they bust down that content. But I'm sure it's like a production system going on to get that content out.
Yep.
Some of us don't have the capacity. I know I don't. God, please don't ever tell me to post 10 times a day because I don't have the capacity to do it. Okay. The way my brain works, I just ain't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That capacity is very, very important too. It's okay to get like blueprints and strategies and all of that type of stuff, but you're still gonna have to figure out what's gonna work for you based off of what you can handle. Some of us too, we need integrity. You want to go to the next level. You want the 6, the 7, the 8 figures, but do you have integrity? And I'm gonna shut up because I know where
That's
I'm gonna
so
go.
good. First of all, we could go on a whole bender on integrity. I'm so big on integrity because you can't be out here accepting lots of money and then not doing the work or lying to people just so that you can accept the money. Like that's the enemy will hold that against you. The
Absolutely.
Bible says that the enemy is before the throne or in the courts, accusing the brethren day and night.
Day and night.
I remember, let me tell you this quick story and then we're going to move right along. I remember when I started my business, this probably was like 2022. I wasn't tithing in my business because I was like, oh, we're not really making money yet. I'll wait till we make money. Do you know that God came to me and was like, the enemy is accusing you? I said, of what? He said, you ain't tithing it through your business. I just started the business, mind you, and I just decided I'm gonna just wait till we make money in it. But the enemy was already up there, like, you see that, God, you see that, she not tithing, she not tithing. And what I had to do, I couldn't be like, you snitch. I couldn't say that. I could have wanted to, but I didn't. I repented actually. Then I started tithing, and the following year, made $117,000 in my business. So integrity does matter.
Yeah.
Doing what God says does matter. And I forgot what my other point was, but that matters too.
Matters.
Did you want to share our AI tool? You're going to walk them through an AI tool.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Let me pull it up on my screen.
Mm-hmm. So this is the part of the show where we get to walk you through an AI tool. Quonda is an AI genius, so she's going to show you something. So if you're taking notes, this is probably where you want to take notes.
I'm just a geek. That's all.
Not you downplaying my whole intro.
So I can't see you anymore. So let me know if I'm still on the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, can you see now?
No, I just see the screen that I'm sharing. I don't see us anymore.
Oh, you can just click back to StreamYard. You should be able to see the screen.
Okay. Sorry, y'all.
You probably won't be able to move anything, actually. You might need to.
Okay, so I'll just maneuver if necessary.
Yeah.
But right here, this is Google's Gemini. Google's Gemini is a new AI tool that is kind of like a suite because you can do many different things with it. I use this when I wanted to use the nano banana feature to change out my outfits, my clothes. If I wanted to create avatars, you can use that. You can also write children's book in here. They have something called Storybook. You can do that. They have something in here where you can play chess. I haven't really diagnosed that because I don't really play chess, but somebody that is a thinker, you can do that. They have stuff you could brainstorm. That's kind of like the Chat GPTs. It has something that can help you with your career goals and different things like that. And then they have let me see if I can show you. They have where you can learn how to code. If you don't know how to code, you can learn it. They have like learning coaches. They have productivity planners. They have writing editors. And then they have this thing where you click new gem and you basically can create your own. And this is kind of like GPT, the creating your GPTs in Chat GPT. So there is a lot of things that you can do um, within this tool, and I believe is 100% free. I believe that it is free. At least I am paying for it. I just clicked it. I think if you have a Gmail, you can have access to it. You just go to, let me make sure I got the right site. You just go to gemini.google.com, and you might have to sign in or sign up or something like that, but it should be 100% free. And there's a lot of things you can do. Like if you're somebody and you want to add a children's line to your business, you can literally go in here and create a children's book, and it'll have the pictures and all of that type of stuff here so that you can do it. And you can take those, you can download it, possibly upload it to Amazon. I would have to check that because I know Amazon is getting a little funny when it comes to AI. I think you have to tell them that it's AI and different things like that. But this is a whole tool that you can use outside of ChatGPT. Another thing that I was playing around in here with was it gives you the ability to build out apps. If you are somebody you've ever wanted your own app, right now you can go in here and play around with it and create an app. You could think about an app that your clients, your customers would use or need, and build this out for them. And then I still haven't gone through the whole process, but there is a way for you to export the app. There is a way for you to save the app and all of that type of stuff. So I would just say go, look into it, play around with it, and see what you come up with. It's a new tool, might as well.
That's really, really dope, especially when you talked about that you can be able to build an app for it. And so back in the day, you'd have to pay thousands of dollars to app developers. And now today you can just do it yourself. Like the excuse of I don't have the money to is being eradicated right now. Hopefully I use that word right. But it's being eliminated. That's the right word. It's being eliminated right now because you can just do it yourself, especially when you take the time to learn how to do it. Bam. You just have it out there. That's your $1 million idea right there.
Yeah. When I created my first app, I spent over $50,000. Because back then, this is 2019 going into 2020. I thank God that I had the money, right? But back then, there was no quick way to get this done. I had to outsource it because I didn't know anything about an app. Now, with just me saying, I want pink, I want it to have these features, it'll be like this within seconds. So that's even going to cut costs if you are somebody who's worked with developers, because now there are faster, more cost-effective ways to do something. I had a meeting the other week with these developers because I want to build out like this app, right? And what they could do is great. But then I think about the price that they were offering, and I'm like, but you have things like Gemini that does it for free, or you have like N8N, who's a monthly feature of like a monthly cost of like $20 or something like that, that it also can be built out. And so I expressed that to them. I'm like, this sounds really good, but the price doesn't make sense. And the way AI changes within a week, let's say it takes them 9 to 12 weeks to develop this thing. By then AI is going to be changed. And then I might feel like, well, dang, I lost money and I could have just did this for free. So
that's good.
AI is definitely changing fast.
And that's the thing, like it's changing fast. It's disrupting so much. Like I remember when I was going to school for film and television, like you really had to go to school for film and television. You had to learn how to tell a story. You had to learn how to direct. You had to learn how to edit, all these things. Today, you don't need none of that. ChatGPT, give me a story. Okay, put that story into, what was it? InVideo could actually create it for you. CapCut could create it for you too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some music, throw that on there and just launch it. And those videos are going viral.
Yep. I know. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I just love how AI and social media and these tools have made it easier, like where things were not accessible. And you would have, and let me tell you, I paid $60,000 for that. I should stop saying 60, $58,000 for that master's degree that people are now just going to YouTube.
Exactly.
Okay. So I'm telling you, I need some supernatural debt cancellation on this student loan.
Listen, I believe it. I believe it. But I know somebody who wants to burst into Hollywood, film director, and all this type of stuff. And I've been telling them for a long time. I'm like, you got to just start posting stuff on social media, create these little scenes and scenarios. And they're like, no, I just want to send it to this person. Then you sending it to these people and they're not calling you back. They're not responding, right? They even had a connection, I believe, with Denzel. They had Denzel's number. Denzel ain't never respond back to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you have to be able to get yourself out there. So
Can we
what he
take
did
that
recently,
a little bit? He got Papa Denzel's number.
yeah, he did.
I need Papa Denzel's number.
Well, we know he doesn't respond, and I get it. He's busy. Okay, we know that much.
I'm just saying, you got Papa Denzel's number and you just sending him your film? Hell no, to be like, Papa Denzel, you want to go to brunch?
Right.
Can
He's
you hook me up
always
with Michael B. Jordan? Cause wait, no, who did he mentor? No, he mentored Chadwick Boseman.
yeah, that's what it was. Yep. Yeah.
So
So
you just be the missed opportunities. You was wasting it on. Okay, I'm done.
yeah, so that's what he was trying to do, and then recently he decided to put one of his little reels or something like that on social media. Do you know he went viral on TikTok?
Come
And I
on.
said, this could have been you 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So now he's like, okay, I'm gonna keep posting this type of content. That's how you're gonna get in the industry. People
Yes.
are gonna see. You never know who's watching you.
No.
You
Also,
never.
no, go ahead.
Now I was gonna say you just never know who's watching you, especially on these social media. Celebrities are using these social media platforms. The managers, the agents, the producers, that all of them are using it. Some of them be on there stealing people ideas, but
Honey, okay, that part. Integrity, y'all. Integrity. But what was I gonna say? Oh, when you build your following on social media, you now come with leverage. You never just want to launch anything and then try to pitch it. I mean, you can, but it's going to take a longer time for you to get there. If you actually build the audience, you're now not just pitching the product that you built, you are also pitching the audience that you have. And these brands, these businesses, these studios, they're more attracted to your audience because they know they can leverage that. Back in the day, back in my day when I was growing up, when we were pitching to production companies, the most important, I mean, to TV stations and networks, the most important thing was having, I think you had to have more than one show, probably like 8 shows ready to go. Because if they brought you on, they're going to want all the shows, right? Today, if you're pitching those companies, it's not just having the shows. Do you have a following? Because they want to know that if we bring this show on, that we can launch it and people will watch it.
right.
Back in my day, they would have to pay for the marketing. They still can, but if you come with the following, you now have leverage, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you 2 examples. Does anyone in here know Ariel Fitz? You know Ariel Fitz? Yeah, just drop a yes in the chat. If you don't know her, she'll pop up on your YouTube and you'll be like, that's who Star was talking about. But I love me some Ariel. I've been following her since 2020, right? And she's the one where she would put out these skits where she's talking to God and she'd be like, Lord, I really want to date this guy. And God will be like, no, that's not for you. And she's like, I'm gonna see for myself. And she goes, sees for herself, and she comes back and she's completely heartbroken. Now she has like Bible stories and stuff that she's doing, right? But back then she was talking about how, I mean, not talking about, she would be singing also. And her voice is amazing. I used to think to myself, sis is going to get a record deal. You know when she got her record deal? She got her record deal, I think 2 years ago.
Wow.
And she said that she had been believing God for a record deal for a long time. And God kept telling her, not yet, not yet. Well, I can almost guarantee that the reason why she got her record deal is not just because of her talent, because sis is talented. She can act, sing, and dance. She has millions of followers across her social media platforms. So now when she's putting out her music, that's free marketing because she don't have to pay for ads. She's got to tell us, I just dropped this new song. And guess who's going to the Apple Music? I am, because I love her music too, just to get it. So she's getting it with, she got her record deal because she had leverage. And then Ashley Nicole, if y'all don't know who she is, she's someone who is a business coach, absolutely phenomenal. But she talks about getting her most recent book deal because she had leverage. She said, I got thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers across social media, and I know how to sell. And so they didn't just give her the book. They were like, you have this book because of your audience, and she knows how to sell. So don't be out here just trying to like get stuff, pitch your stuff. You can. I'm not saying that God's not still doing it that way. I'm just saying it's a lot simpler when you come with leverage. Make them want you as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, as somebody who's worked around people that have worked with gospel artists, I remember during the pandemic, a lot of them were like devastated, distraught because they relied on going in somebody's church to
Yeah.
monetize.
Yeah.
And it was just like to me that I just couldn't comprehend. I remember we were in Clubhouse and there was this big debate, and I kept trying to push the button to get up there. They just, whatever reason, maybe God was just protecting me because I was just going to let them all have it. Like, social media is how you should be pushing your stuff. Don't wait on a record label is definitely not gonna push you. They definitely not gonna push gospel artists. You know what I'm saying? So why not use it? The other what are they called? Other not industries, the other artists,
Artists. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the other artists, they were
Secular
out
artists.
here working during the pandemic. They were out here having, those free concerts or those paid paywall concerts and things like that. They were making sure their name stayed relevant. They were doing lives. It was easier during the pandemic to connect with celebrities than ever before. They're literally pushing the live button. So it's just like, even if we come into hard times, you still have to learn how to continue to monetize, continue to leverage, and do things uniquely. Change as is how the culture and how the world is shifting. If you know that AI is the thing, jump on that because it's not going anywhere. It's definitely not a fad. It's definitely not a fad.
Definitely not. Ooh, and I know for me, I'm like, Lord, I want to be on this side so that when you are releasing that wealth, we are in position and ready to go.
Exactly.
So I want to share the prompt. We're going to
Okay.
share the prompt. I mean, we shared one earlier. I really like the one that you shared, but just for those who were like, where's the prompt? It's at 1 hour and 10 minutes. Okay. So this is a prompt for those of you who already have your own businesses and you're already at six figures or you're at multiple six figures, you want to get to seven figures. If you're just starting out, you can still use this, but it's not going to be as effective as you getting a six-figure strategy. So it says, act as a seven-figure business strategist. I am and you tell them what business you are, your coach, your consultant, or whatever. And this is who I help. So give it your dream client. And this is the problem that I solve. You give it the problem that you solve, right? Build me a scalable offer suite, a marketing funnel, and a 90-day content strategy that can take my business to $1 million. And I thought that this was really great, right? Because this is actually what you need. First of all, you need this when you're getting six figures, but you may not need it full. You may not need it like fully the way that this is saying it. But when you want to get to your $1 million mark, as Quonda was saying, you have to shift your mindset. What got you to one figure is not going to get you the next figure, right? So your offer suite may need to be developed some more, where you may be adding products to your offer suite. Some of you are like, offer suite, I only have one thing that I sell. Well, then that's why you haven't hit $1 million yet.
Yeah.
You need an offer suite, right? Your marketing funnel, some of you may not know exactly what that is, but it is a way to bring your audience in, right? So if you're using social media, that's the first step of the funnel. But now you need to get your audience from social media to actually buying from you, right? And then 90-day content strategy. I mean, you could do it for longer than 90 days, but the most important thing that the prompt does not talk about is having a certain amount of high touch points so that you can actually convert your audience. So your offer suite is going to let you know what to sell and how much to sell it for.
Yeah.
Your marketing funnel is going to show you how you can market your stuff so that you can actually bring in the sales. And then the content strategy is what's going to get you the exposure. But the most important thing that's going to bring in the conversions is actually having the high touch points where you're having conversations with your audience, especially if you're selling high ticket. If you're selling something that's like $10,000, $20,000, people not just gonna go to your website and be like, "Oh, let me just give $20,000." There's a conversation that's needed. So that's the one thing that's missing from this prompt. But this prompt will help you because what it's gonna do is it's gonna map out the strategy. But guess what? It's not gonna do it for you. So you still have to work it out, and you might want to work with someone because you trying to work it out yourself, especially if you don't understand the terminology, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, and I think it's important too, whenever you're doing these prompts, is that you give it as much details as possible. Like, don't, if you give it a vague input, it's gonna start imagining and adding stuff to it, and that may not be the route that you want to go on. So you want to think about it, be intentional with your inputs as well when you're doing these prompts.
I love that. So, so powerful. Now I'm like, I'm about to go put that prompt in and see what it gives me. I'm one of those people where, like, when I give ChatGPT a prompt or any AI tool a prompt, I always go back and I'm like, is this correct? Like, were you talking to my people? And they'll be like, oh, you're so right. I forgot. I'm like, come on, chat. What do I pay you for? I forgot you said to be nice to it. So I'll be nice to it. Do you want to talk about how people can work with you?
Sure. If you are somebody and you're not hitting $5,000, $6,000 at least a month consistently, I am hosting a marketing boot camp, AI and marketing boot camp, October the 6th. It's going to be 6 weeks. We'll be live on Zoom Monday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to learn target audience so you can have a better understanding of who your person is. We're going to talk about content. We're going to talk about ways in which you could use AI to grow, to scale. You'll have access to a portal that we have, and you can DM me, you can email me. You'll have me in a way that other people don't get me for 6 weeks. 6 weeks, I am your coach. This works better if you show up, if you do the work, if you're coachable. That's something I was talking about this morning on my lives. I'm like, you have to be coachable. You have to be coachable because you if somebody is giving you a blueprint or going to give you a strategy based off of where you are, then you want to start implementing that stuff, showing up, because if you don't, then you'll never know if it worked or not.
Mhm.
There may be, and what I love about the boot camp is it's usually smaller, right? 20 people or under, something like that, right? But what it is even though I'm going to be in there teaching lessons to everybody, where you can do the Q&A and ask me questions, those things could be specific to you. So that way I know how to tailor and say, you know what, Karen, you got to do this. You know what, Melissa, you have to do this. So just keeping that in mind. So that's starting October the 6th, 6 weeks. It's going to be an amazing experience. We wrapped up. This is like my third and probably my final boot camp of the year because we're getting ready to go into the holidays. But my clients have been getting results. I had one person who was a nurse, and she started out with 0 followers on TikTok, and then within a week or two, she got like to 1,800, and now she's probably blown up further than that. One of my other clients who was on there, she got her first $2,000 client from TikTok after a few weeks of being in the boot camp as well. So it'll work if you work it, if you show up and do the work. So I'm excited. And if you're interested in that, we'll throw it in the chat and it's on the screen, but that might be a lot to memorize. So we'll just drop it in the chat for you. And I'd love to have you if you're serious.
I love it. Yeah, Michael Moore says, this is awesome news. I've been waiting on this and I am coachable. Well, there you go. The link is, I'm about to drop the link right here in the chat so you can just get access to it. I had it displayed on the screen, but
Yeah, that might be a lot to.
yeah. There you go. You can just click that link right there so you can secure your seat. And it's kicking off in October. Super exciting. And then for me, I am hosting the AI Content to Cash Challenge. This is for business owners where you're already at 6 figures and you want to scale your business to multiple 6 figures and beyond. And right now, you're currently getting sales through word of mouth and referrals. But what you want to do is be able to use social media in order to reach a larger audience, make a bigger impact than what you're doing in your local community. Right now, you're probably struggling with selling one to many in your videos because you're feeling like, oh my goodness, I sound salesy. I feel icky when I'm selling. But when someone comes referred to you, because you're coming highly recommended, it makes it easier to sell. So what I want to do is show you in a challenge how you can be able to sell to your audience through video as if it's one-on-one so that you can actually feel confident selling on social media. We also show you how to create content that sells in 5 days or less so that you actually know what content is bringing in your following, what content is building your engagement, and what content is bringing in the sales. You walk away with that type of clarity. It don't matter what platform you are on, you're going to be able to monetize every single platform. So again, this AI Content to Cash Challenge, we show you how to create content that sells in 5 days or less. We show you how to use AI tools so that you can create it faster. And it is for business owners where you're currently getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and you want to be able to get them through social media. You can go ahead and join us. This is the website, contenttocashchallenge.com. If you are the first 5 people to sign up for VIP, you get access to our AI Content Generator Pro, which is going to help you to generate your content ideas for you. It'll write your scripts for you, your captions for you. I mean, we just do it for you. It's on purpose so that you can get to a position where all you do is shoot and post, shoot and post, shoot and post.
I love that. And you're a great marketeer. And I don't think that's the right word. I feel like you're more of a strategist.
Yeah.
So I know that it's a
Thank,
great experience. Yeah.
thank you so much. Awesome. We went like over
I
time.
know. I think it's because we haven't been here in a while. And then we both were in like our creative genius and
Mhm.
that nerdy talk. So
Yeah, so true. And then that Christian talk on top of
that
that. Love
too.
how it
We had
came
to give y'all a little tea because some y'all I need y'all Christians to speed it up, okay?
that part.
Speed it
There's no
up.
point in us getting to the top and being wealthy, and then we looking at y'all like, what happened down there?
Exactly. Like, oh my God.
Who down there? I actually wouldn't even be looking for y'all. I'm not
Me
gonna
neither. I'll be too busy. I might be sewing into your church or your
right,
ministry or something like that, but
right. Oh man, we are so anointed. Mm.
thank you.
Okay. All right. So y'all have a great day today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you love this live, share with other people. Don't keep it to yourself. I get it. You love us and you only want us to know you, and that's awesome too. But share it with other people so that they can be blessed. We'll be back again next Tuesday with another live. I should really just start calling these shows with another live show, teaching you how you can use AI to build your wealth. We need to have music.
Yeah, we need an intro and outro.
We do.
That
We
would be
do.
so cool.
We'll develop that. I'm gonna go to like one of the AI tools and maybe we should like create
Cool.
one.
Yeah, we could do Suno.
Yes. Oh, we should document it too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. All right. Y'all have a great one. Bye.
Bye.